presenting my work and my research to fellow like-minded individuals. Today I will be discussing my recent trip to South Ossetia with a side trip into Chechnya. So I won't be discussing Chechnya today, but I will be focusing on South Ossetia. So I must also thank my wife who tolerated my behaviour upon my obsession upon my return from the war and allowing me to venture back. So before I begin, I think it's important that I do set a context. I was in South Ossetia in August 2008. Prior to the war, I was working here at the ANU as a doing some research on a project. The night of the opening of the Olympic Games, reports came through that Russian tanks had entered Georgia, had invaded Georgia. That was how it was coming across in our media. I was shocked, I was stunned. I simply could not understand why Russia and Georgia would be at war. Why? I had spent several years researching the Second World War, had lived in Subud, Rostov, Volgograd, Moscow and St. Petersburg. And in that time, I got to know Georgians. Eating their cuisines in Moscow, I would eat shashliki in Georgian restaurants, in Volgograd, many Georgians. So I couldn't understand why. So I just had to go for myself. I had to find out what was going on. Why were Georgians and Russians killing each other? So eventually I got my media pass and I flew off to Russia and I went in through the Russian side. And what I saw on the ground was very, very different to what was being reported in the Western media. It was in fact an information war. Unbelievable. After that I became very disillusioned with the media. Russia has a different approach to handling the media. It's very different to the way we do it. They don't have the same approach to handling the media, which is why they lost the information war. If they had a different approach to the media, I think there may have been a bit more of a balanced reporting. For me, the war in Ossetia was bigger than the Cuban Missile Crisis. Why? FSB sources claim that the war was planned in Washington, and eyewitnesses claim, it's eyewitness accounts, eyewitness accounts claim that there were foreign fighters on the initial invasion in Zimbabwe. I searched for proof of this. I've been searching for this for over 2 years. I'm also in Zimbabwe just recently. So foreign fighters is inclusive. I'm unable to. However, there is a report coming out later this year. I'm not too sure what date. It's been going for a long time. So I think there may be some findings coming out from that. I'm not too sure. The 2008 war was brutal, cruel, with civilians being killed. It was a nasty, short little war. However, I am not here to open new wounds or create controversy. You are all able to make up your own minds, as there is more than enough information out there. I would like nothing more than to see Russians, Georgians and South Ossetians all living together in harmony, which I believe is possible. I am here to present to you my research from my most recent trip to South Ossetia, where I wanted to see how the lives of ordinary South Ossetians have coped since the war. I felt I had an obligation. I also wanted to see how the reconstruction was going and how the new republic plans to become a viable and independent nation. Firstly, the people. I spent time in North Ossetia before crossing into South Ossetia. As soon as I crossed into South Ossetia, you can see the faces. There's the absolute scars of war, totally different face. The mental institutions are full, with people suffering psychological problems, and there are a lot of children now displaying behavioural problems. Although the South Ossetians are a warm and welcoming people, they treated me well and made sure that I was fed and safe. It is a fascinating culture, something the West may need to understand before it makes any judgment on the past or current situation.